Hey, my name is Jamal, and I'm a retail solutions engineer here at Shopify. And today, I'm going to walk you through some of the great reporting features that Stocky has built right into it. So, the first thing you'll see when you land on Stocky is the dashboard. In the dashboard, you'll see a few callouts here for products you can look at, or sorry, reports you can look at. So, your low stock products report, your lost revenue report, your best sellers report, or your draft purchase orders that are open here. And you can also view more down below if you click Show More. But at the very top here, you can actually click into a couple of different tabs, all of which are very useful depending on what you're trying to do. So the first tab you'll see is low stock vendors. This is a low stock vendor report that will show you where stock needs to be ordered from each specific vendor. So you can see items that are out of stock, how many things are out of stock that are needing to be ordered, and any possible revenue you could be creating if everything was in stock based on the forecasting that you've got in your account and the lead times that you've set for each of your vendors. If you wanted to add or create a purchase order specifically for one of these vendors, you can simply click plus PO right here, and you'll create a new purchase order directly to this vendor, and you can start placing orders for out of stock items or forecast against your forecasting periods to get to generate a PO for one of these vendors. You can also click down into low stock products, another report that will show you the stocks of your entire products, and you can see exactly how many variants are out of stock for each product. Another great way to check what products need to be ordered as well. You can actually filter down here into specific vendors if you'd like to, so you can get a more granular look at the specific vendors' low stock products too. And then, of course, you can click Add to PO, and you'll add these products directly to your purchase order to really streamline how quickly you can get more products right into your store and create purchase orders for those products. Another great report to look at is the low stock variance report. This is a deeper level, so 2 levels deeper. So instead of low stock vendors or low stock products, you can look specifically at low stock variants for each product. And you can filter for many different things. So you can look at your low stock products across your entire store, or you can look at them based on each specific location you have in your store. And when you filter, the products will pull in down below. And what you can do is create purchase orders directly from these products based on the exact product variant or SKU that you're looking at. So you get very granular with this and get some great information on each of the products that you need to order right here with these headers too. Of course, you can filter as you need to, not just by location, but also by vendor, by the actual products themselves, and any tags you might have associated with them. What you can see is that your forecast is currently set to 30 days, which you can set in your preferences under the forecasting tab. You can also look at a best sellers report. What your best sellers report will do is surface all of the best selling items in your store based on the historical sales data that you've got in your store over the last 30 days. On the left side, you'll see a grading right here, the ABC analysis. As you can see, there's a report for it here, which is the ABC analysis. And if you click into this, you'll get some more information on how these grades are given to products. Your A products are products that represent, I believe, 80% of your revenue. You can see here. So your A products are products that represent 80% of your revenue. Your B products are products that represent, I believe, 15%, and C is 5% of your revenue. And U are products that don't have enough product information for you to see here. So as you can see, I was right there. So A products are 80%, B products are 15%, and C products are 5% of your revenue based on the default sample period there. So it gives your products a grading, so you can see exactly what needs to be reordered and what things need to be cleared out of your store based on the grading that you have there. So going back into the best sellers report, you can see how products are moving based on the grades here, and you can look more deeply into each of these products specifically based on how they sell. You can also add them directly to purchase orders from here too. And then you can look at your best sellers, not just by variant, but also by product. And then you can export them in a CSV as well, which you can do any more data manipulation you'd want to inside of the CSV or Excel file you get inside of this. So again, a lot more granularity than what's offered in Shopify. So you get some really great reports based on your inventory with Stocky. So we showed you the ABC analysis as well. Quickly click into sale items. You can see how items are moving that are based on your sales. So anything that has an item grade of C, you can see here that are item suggestions that should be put on sale. So you can see the total holding cost you've got, the average cost, the total retail value, and all of these products typically you'd probably want to put on sale. So it gives you a good look into what you want to move out of your store. And you can obviously filter on the left-hand side based on any of the filters here. So you can look at different vendor items. You can look at all your vendors. You can look at specific vendors by selecting the vendor. You can look at specific items from a grade level. You can see the minimum age of those items, the minimum depletion days, so how long it'll quickly take to remove out of your store, and the minimum stock levels, so close to out of stock levels or ones that are close to it, and anything else below here. So you have some great views into how your stock is moving in terms of sale and sales suggestions. The final report you'll see here is statistics. And the statistics report gives you an overall look into your store. And this is basically where a lot of your information when it comes to forecasting will live. So you can see your average order values, your average order total values, the average items per order over the last 28 days. So your last kind of 4-week period, as well as your last week period. And then you can see total stock on hand across all your locations, total stock on hand at retail price, total stock on hand at cost price, total stock on hand for that are tracked by Shopify specifically. So all of this stuff, very granular, and a great bird's eye view into exactly what your store has inside of it. So hopping into some of the other reports that are available, I can click into reports here, and we walked through the low stock vendors, products, and SKU variance report. You can also see an orders report. This will pull up all of the orders that are made in your store, and you'll get the order number, how many items are purchased on that order, the tax involved, any discounts associated with the order, how much was refunded on the order, all the way down to the cost of goods sold for that particular order, as long as the products have costs associated with them, and then the profit that you've made, so your gross profit margin on each of your specific orders. So you can look at that fairly deeply as well. And again, a great filter section that you can see. And at the very top, you've got a really great graph that shows you all of the orders that you've made on your store over time. So you have a great kind of snapshot into how your store is performing based on the period of time that you're looking at with these reports. Another really fantastic report that I like a lot is the product and the product SKU variance report. They're both very similar, so I'm going to hop into this SKU variance report because you'll see that a lot of the information in this report is already available in this one. So the SKU variance report is going to give you your sales down to each specific variant in your store. The great thing with this report is it's highly customizable, both by the filtering and also by the available columns you can add inside of here. So one of the great features here is that you're able to hit columns here and add any extra columns that you'd want to inside of this specific report. So if you want to look at reports or sales by tags, that's something that you can enable here by putting tags inside of here. You might want to look at average costing. You might want to look at stock cost and retail value. You might want to look at sales per day for a specific product. And when you hit update, all of those fields will now be readily available inside of this report, and you can scroll through all of them and adjust as you need to based on the information that you're looking for inside of this report specifically. On the left-hand side, this is where it gets really cool, is that you can actually start filtering down to specific date periods. So you can look at reports on your sales from different time periods. It could be today, yesterday, last day, or a custom range as well. You can see sales that are greater than in a specific dollar amount. You can look at sale location as well, so I can look specifically at my retail locations or my online store, or maybe even my drop shipping warehouse here. You can look at your inventory quantities and down to the stock location as well. And then below, of course, you can look through your vendors, product titles, variant types, product types, your SKU, your barcode, basically any information that's available on your sales orders and your products is available to be filtered inside of this report. So you can get very granular with this report. And the great part of it is that you can actually save your reports and click back into them if you ever want to revisit these reports and use them as a source of truth to continue making these reports. So this is a fantastic report when you're looking for products, information and sales data down to the SKU. One thing that's really cool is the sales per day. It gives you the sales velocity. And this is what's being used to calculate some of your forecasting. So you can see exactly how that works based on your sales per day right there. Some other great reports that are really useful is I kind of talked about these in the statistics side of Shopify, but you've got a stock on hand report. In your stock on hand report, what you can do is look at the total cost for your products and total retail value for your products across all your locations individually, which you'll see here. So in the top left, I can look at my different locations, and I can see this stock on hand at each specific location down to the variant SKU down below, and I can filter through all the pages here. If I were to look at a separate location, so right now I'm looking at my store 1 location. If I wanted to look at my second store location, I can simply click update, and it will bring me into that store's location stock on hand. And again, I'll get all of the different products associated with this store location down to the total cost and total retail value. Again, you can do that for every location you have in your store. If you wanted to do another deeper analysis on a historical stock on hand report, you can click into history here. And what this historical report will do will allow you to look at the stock on hand as an aggregate based on your vendors. So you can look at all your vendors or specific ones, and you can have it set to reporting on the total retail value, the total items, the total cost, the total first in, first out of movement of items, and the moving average as well, or current cost price. So a lot of really great features inside of here. And then again, you can filter by date range. So you can look at a specific range of dates inside of your store and get the information you're looking for when it comes to stock on hand in your accounts. You can also surface some of your purchase order reports, which I talked about in the purchase order video. Here, you're able to look at purchase orders and any of the information you'd want to inside of here. A great way to keep track of all of the purchase orders you're making in your store, and things like when the purchase order needs to be paid, when it's due, any of the receiving information, so when something should be received, when it was first received and last received, basically to the vendor, the shipping location. So a lot of, again, really great items here. You can filter on the left-hand side as you need to based on looking for specific vendor or purchase orders. And then you can actually click into purchase order items, and this will give you a product report based on the items that are associated with each purchase order. So you can see exactly, again, all this great granular information down to each product and which PO it exists on, to the variant level. And if you wanted to do any deeper analysis on the product, you can do that right here. So if you wanted to see all of the sweaters that you're looking for based on product type, you're able to filter that here and see what current POs are out for product types that you have made purchase orders for. Hopping back into the report section, you can see your stock adjustments reports. So again, going back to the reports that we talked about in the stock adjustments video, you're able to see all of the stock adjustments made on your account, who made them, have they been adjusted, when it happened, the adjustments for them, any reason codes as to why. So you're able to see exactly why stock has moved in your store and get a great visibility into what's being adjusted in your entire Shopify store. You can see your stock transfers report as well. So any transfers that you've made from location to location, you're able to filter again on the left-hand side from location to location and see the status of your stock transfers and how many things have been moved from your store locations to your other store locations. So it gives you, again, a great bird's eye view into what's happening from a stock transfer side of things. There's also a couple of really cool, interesting beta reports as well. There's one, which is the profit beta. This profit beta is going to give you more information on your entire store's profitability, or you can click down more specifically into vendors, products, variants, types, tagged items, which is a very interesting report that you can look at too, which isn't surfaceable in Shopify specifically, but now you can check profit reports based on product tags. Product tags are also something you can surface in your regular reports, but now you can see exactly, maybe based on tagged items that are seasonal, you can see exactly what the profit reporting is there. And then you can see, based on product variant title profit reports too. So you can, down to each variant specifically, you'll get the cost of goods sold, the revenue it's generating, the refunds, the gross profit, and then the profit margin for each of those items. And then finally, the last report, again, another beta one, is the inventory age. Very similar to your SKU variant report. Actually, you can see it's basically the same, but the difference here is that it's going to give you the first receive date. So you can see exactly how long something has been in your store versus the number of days it should be depleted in. So it's a great way to see dusty shelf items and really move stock out of your store if it's needs to be put on sale, or if it's very old in your store and you don't necessarily want to sell it anymore. You can see exactly what your dusty shelves look like with your inventory age report as well. So those are some of the really great reports that are available in Stocky. Again, my favorite report is that SKU variance report, because you can get some really granular data, and it surfaces a lot of really great information that you can do within Stocky that might not be available within Shopify. So you can always use Stocky as a great source of truth for reporting. So hopefully that answers a lot of your questions when it comes to reporting on Stocky.